As we've been highlighting Canadians' extraordinary acts of kindness, we've mentioned on occasion that it doesn't have to be two-legged recipients of kindness. We have video of my next guest at work.
Hi, come here. I'm hungry.
Katie Powell is the founder of Save a Dog Network Canada. And one of our viewers, Catherine Babisky, wrote to us about Katie, highlighting the work she does in the north of this country, in fly-in communities, mostly Indigenous communities, that are dealing with an overpopulation of stray dogs. Here's a quote from the nomination note. This woman is absolutely a superhero with her absolute dedication and timeless energy and determination. Catherine, thank you for drawing our attention to the work of Katie, because Katie Powell is with us herself. Good morning.
Good morning.
Superhero Katie Powell, we are glad to meet you. That was a nice note about you. I want to talk about the things that you're doing. And number one, congratulations. You celebrated yesterday 10-year anniversary in this work. Katie, tell me about that.
I did. A decade has flown by. The first dog I rescued was my boy Dooley, and he basically set the standard for how I want all dogs to be treated across Canada.
Do you remember your very first dog, Dooley, do you?
Yeah, he's close in my heart, and with every injured dog that we rescue, he's always in the back of my mind.
So tell me about the scope of this issue and what it was, Katie, that drew your attention to this problem all those years ago.
I think 10 years ago, I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. It was fun rescuing little puppies and stuff, but to actually get to the root of this problem has become my 24/7. I really want to advocate for the Indigenous people that currently live without veterinary care in their communities, which is causing a lot of emotional and physical harm to community members, losing their pets, being attacked, amongst many other things, of just watching the suffering of these animals roaming their communities with no humane form of animal control currently. So that's where our focus is in these remote fly-in areas in northern Manitoba.
And you go there, you fly in, and what do you do to help?
Well, we have a multi-tiered program, so we actually rely on a lot of the community members to identify dogs that are not wanted in the community or that are suffering from sickness or disease. So we rescue about 60 dogs a month that need medical care from these communities. So we fly them to Winnipeg, get them the help they need, and then I actually transfer them to reputable rescues and shelters either in Manitoba or actually in Ontario, and then they complete their journey home. So we look at it as like a dual approach. So when speaking with these chief and councils, we get them to identify a couple of the problems in their area. So it's mainly a lack of veterinary care for owned animals, and then rehoming the strays. So we do that by providing a non-judgmental approach. We work with these community leaders as well as the members to build a program which works best for their community. And then we provide actual fly-in spay and neuter clinics and vaccine clinics where we actually bring an entire vet hospital into these areas, set up in their gym, and fix as many owned dogs as we can while removing
While
stray
you're there,
dogs.
maybe you can go back to this picture. That's what we're looking at here. Are you spaying and neutering going on in that facility?
Yes, so that was last weekend in Shamattawa, and we were able to provide 64 surgeries to owned animals that live in the community. And then over the last few weeks, we've removed about 60 dogs that are not wanted in the area, and we're working to find them new homes.
So starting from Dooley, people watching on the screen as we continue our conversation, they'll see the big number. 15,000 dogs you've rescued over those 10 years? It's extraordinary.
Yeah, and people think, and that's immediately what people think is, oh my God, that's amazing. And it actually is a horrible number. And I wish that number was zero, because if you look at it, I'm one rescue of probably 30 in Manitoba. and our numbers are so high here. And I think that's just showing that rescuing and rehoming is not getting to the root of the problem. And we have to gear our focus on providing vet care for these animals to stop the dogs being born, because there's simply just not enough homes across Canada in general for the amount of unwanted animals that are currently waiting for homes, let alone the tens of thousands of strays that are waiting in sub-zero temperatures. Like when we were in Shamattawa last weekend, it dipped down to minus 52. So any mothers that are giving birth in those types of conditions, the puppies just don't survive. And then you have this huge problem of the bones of millions of animals just being spread out throughout our province. And it's just causing a lot of emotional strain for the people that love these animals and who live amongst them. So I just like to use my voice to try to provide a platform so we can get more funding for veterinary care in these.
Why are you so passionate about this?
I think it's just like over time, getting to know these community members, hearing their stories, hugging a mother that lost her 2-year-old child from the dogs. It's all these little moments that make up to my passion. It's my volunteers that hug me tight and tell me to keep going. It's exhausting, it's overwhelming, it's emotional, but I can't rest until these communities have a break. And when I'm in, I'm in. And there's a huge res dog army that are fighting for these dogs and for these community members. And I just like to provide the platform for everyone to get involved.
Listen, what a pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you for telling us about your mission, and Catherine for highlighting the work that you're doing. Superhero indeed. Katie Powell, one of those. It's a different kind of act of kindness, but an important one too. I appreciate that time and meeting you today. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you. I so appreciate the time, and I look forward to a day where we don't have to talk about this.